Remember how I said I lived out in the middle of nowhere with absolutely nothing around us? What's that? What is that? What is that for? Oh, you know, a free country. What are you monitoring? And why are our tax dollars being used to enslave the people, I wonder? Can you see that?
One of the saddest things about the United States right now is how deeply unaware most American citizens are of what is coming for us in 2027. We have no idea what the big beautiful bill is bringing to us in 2027 because we've chosen not to. Everything else is so crazy and we're all working too hard to get by. What's coming is going to hurt even more than what we're going through right now. And when the one big beautiful bill passed, it was before we were in this endless war with Iran where we're depleting all of our military munitions and causing global destabilization and high gas prices. It was also before the AI data center debacle that has shown that millions of people can no longer get clean drinking water inside their homes and that their utility costs are skyrocketing. And if you're amongst one of many Americans who feel like things have just gotten harder in the past year, 2027 will get even worse. And when I say working class Americans, I'm talking people making $200,000 or less. Go look at the data. If you are making under $200,000, you will be screwed come 2027. And this was done on purpose because they need to win in the midterms. They need to maintain the seats so they can make sure these cuts stay in place. And these cuts will benefit the corporations who are actually running our government right now. So you need to go out and vote, not only in your primary if you still have one coming up, but you need to go vote in November. You need to make a plan to go vote in November. You need to make sure that you will get there and that you get all your friends, your family, your neighbors to go vote because what you're experiencing right now is only going to get worse in 2027. And that makes me incredibly sad how deeply unaware and just naive we are about what is going to happen. So go take a look at the one beautiful bill, see what's in there, and then go vote like your life depends on it because it does.
You were born in the 80s and 90s, then you know just as well as I do that we grew up in a very different world than the one that we live in today. The only information that you had access to was what was in the newspaper or on the nightly news. And the world that your parents and school were preparing you for was based off of previous generations. Go to college, get the degree, work really hard, and you too can have the American dream. It was all about competition. But then everything changed. More unprecedented historical events, increased access to triggering news, and all the while, the story of the tortoise and the hare is playing out in front of us, where the tortoise is increasing wages and the hare is increases in cost of living. Except in this story, the rabbit doesn't take a pause. But based on our programming from 0 to 7 years old, we held on tight to what we were taught. Work hard. And if you feel like you're not doing something right, you're probably not working hard enough. Rest is for the lazy. And leave your feelings at the door because there's no time for mental health. So the solution became caffeine, cortisol, and adrenaline. You were born for this hustle culture rat race. And now that you're in your 30s and 40s, your body has reached its limit. The pressure that's been put on you has caused your cortisol and adrenaline to become drained. But yet, you haven't crossed off your bingo card yet for success and happiness, so your mind talks you out of rest. And now, you're stuck, quite literally. Your default operating mode has become fight or flight. It's what your brain knows best. An entire generation of millennials is self-isolating, dissociating, struggling to keep up on the hamster wheel, and straight up stuck, based on one thing in common. The belief that if you're not productive, if you're not stressed out, then you're not enough. This is the root of millennial burnout. Why are millennials burning out at record pace? Well, it's because y'all told us all we had to do was get the good grades and work really, really hard, and we too could have the American dream. But yet here we are in our mid to late 30s, still trying to pay off that student loan debt for the college degree that we no longer use. We can't afford to buy a house, let alone save for retirement. But the good news is we're not going to be able to retire anyway, so what's the point? And there's also this whole idea too that, like, we are programmed to believe that our worth comes from our level of productivity, and so we've kind of created this subconscious addiction to stress. We wear stress as an honor badge to show off our enoughness and get the validation and approval from our parents and our coworkers in society. And even though we're making far more than our parents ever did at our age, somehow the cost of living still far exceeds the increase in wages. But between like late stage capitalism, alien invasions, and World War III, something's got to change pretty soon, right? So yeah, we're a little bit tired, but luckily we've got our favorite vacation place that we go to. It's called Dissociation Nation, where we all come together and share our dark humor and sarcasm and 90s nostalgia as a way to, get by.
If you think that we live in a free country, you have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and tricked. We need permission from our government to do damn near everything in this life, from getting a birth certificate to getting a driver's license, getting a marriage license, renovating a house, building a house, digging a well, putting in septic, starting a business. And even our two-party system, they have created the illusion of freedom that a lot of people have bought into. Living off-grid, even in a very low-regulated state with very loose requirements, we still had to get a permit for our septic, well, carport, and barn. It's crazy. And it can't just be about the money. They want to be able to know everything that you're doing and being able to say yes or no, you can't do this. Did you know if you put up a structure that you didn't get a permit for and they're not pleased with, they will make you tear it down? Is that not insane? So do not fall for the okie doke. We do not live in a free country.
Americans love to say we are the land of the free, but it turns out that freedom isn't real. It's an illusion. If you miss a day of work because you go protest or because you're sick, you might lose your job. You might lose your health insurance. You might lose your home, along with everybody else in your home. And it turns out you can't even drive down your street without possibly being shot in the face. So, freedom isn't real here. And, I guess I should just be thankful that I can still show my ankles without being beaten in the streets.
So fucking sick of watching the world fall apart and being told to just patiently wait for change. I'm sick of hinging hope on election cycles and politicians who have no intention of actually changing things and thinking that the same people who got us here are somehow going to fix the situation. I'm tired of being told I have to lower my expectations and that I have to compromise on things that shouldn't be negotiable. Human dignity is not negotiable. I'm so fucking sick of watching people die and suffer and seeing their homes leveled. I'm sick of the environment being gutted in real time. I'm getting so tired of just wondering when it's all going to give out. I'm just so fucking mad that we've been gaslit into thinking that it's radical to want people to wake up every day and not have to feel like their entire world is on the verge of fucking collapse.
The fuck are we doing on this earth, man? Every day, most of us wake up and go to a job that we really don't fucking like, but we can't really quit because we got to get the money to pay the bills that they say it's important to pay. What the fuck is the point of this life, man? We go to grocery stores and buy food that God gave us for free. Why the fuck did we pay for lights? Well, that's just the way it is. Fuck you. I'm tired of all this "that's just the way it is" bullshit. This whole fucking system is garbage. America ain't nothing but a big-ass fucking plantation, man. A big-ass fucking plantation. What the fuck are we doing here? There are days I don't want to be on this earth. And I'm not saying I want to unalive myself and nothing like that. But I'm tired, man. It's like, what the fuck is the point of any of this? To work till we 60, 70 years old? Most of us ain't gonna fucking live to see 50. But we gotta work to maybe retire. Man, fuck you and all that bullshit, man. I don't give a fuck about who president, left, right, and all this dumbass shit. I'm tired of this whole fucking game, man. It's a big-ass game. It's a big-ass charade. America is a fucking plantation. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say about it, man. This shit is exhausting. Like, I don't even want to look for another job. I'm going to walk in there. They going to ask me, why do you even want this job? Bitch, because I need some fucking money to pay the bills that they tell me is important to pay. Get the fuck out of here, man.
When you start your awakening and you really start to learn the truth about how this world is very, very controlled by the ones we don't see, the main thing that you want to do is you want to tell all your family and friends about it. You want to say, listen to this is what I found out, and this is what happens, and this is dodgy, and you've got to avoid this, and everything that we're taught is false, and blah, blah, blah. And your family and friends look at you like you've lost your mind, and they are not ready to take that information in. But you think they need to know what I know. They need to be aware of it very, very quickly. I had to learn, I don't know about you guys, very, very quickly when I first started awakening, noticeably awakening a few years ago, i.e. the time where that was happening. Be careful what you say in the comments. And I thought, something's not right with this. Something isn't right. It's being forced on us. Something doesn't seem right. And I was trying to tell my family and friends, and they all had it. Okay. So I was going really pushing, trying to explain why it might be a bad idea, telling them all these things that I was thinking that weren't right about the world, and they weren't ready to hear it. Okay. And what they were doing is, because they weren't ready to hear it, they were reacting badly to me. They were walking out of rooms away from me. They were shouting at me. They were ignoring me. They were laughing at me. And I was thinking, but I'm trying to help. We all need to know that we're being controlled. We all need to know what's going on in this world. We all need to know that we've been under a spell for years, you know. And I can see how it comes across a bit crazy to somebody who's not ready to receive that information. If you're not ready to receive some of the information, some of the truths about what's really going on in this world, it could throw you into a psychosis. It could make people go a little bit crazy. The reason that you started awakening when you did and started finding out a lot of the lies that we've been told when you did is because on some level you were ready to receive that information. Okay. And the first thing you want to do when you're ready to receive that information is you want to tell all your friends about it. Avoid this. Don't do that. They're lying to us. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Look into this conspiracy. Look into that one. Okay. And it doesn't go down very well. And they don't listen to you and they think you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? They say. The reason I made this platform, You Are the Bridge, a few years ago, was I thought to myself, because I had to learn very, very quickly, you can't just force this information on people who are not ready to hear it. You can't wake them up with the proverbial air horn in their face, because that actually makes things worse. And a lot of us say, well, people need to hurry up and wake up. We're running out of time. Time is an ego construct. And we have to trust in the deeper mysteries of the universe that people will have to wake up in their own time. Okay? We have to stop worrying that we're running out of time. People will wake up when the time is right for them. You can't be giving people some of this really, really crazy sounding, even though, you know, a lot of it is true, information when they're not ready to receive it, because it could actually make matters worse. So all you can do is stand in your truth. You know what is true. You know how you feel intuitively about whatever the truth you think is, okay? And just set an example that way, but don't force it on people. The reason I made this platform is I thought, I can't force this on people that are not ready to hear it, but what I can do is I can create content, and there is a community of people out there that are ready to hear it, that are interested, and that are looking into, you know, the truth about what our world is really based on. And then, you know, I can be sure that when I'm making these videos, the people that are supposed to be finding it and are ready to hear it will hear it. So if you've got that issue at the minute where family and friends are just absolutely slating you for saying what you're saying, it's not your job to convince them, and we don't want to be waking them up in that way if they're not ready for it. Okay, so just remember to take a step back. There are a lot of people out there that hear you. You know, there are a lot of people out there that hear you and understand what you're saying, but we can't force it on people when the time isn't, when it's not the right time for them.
I just watched what has to be one of the most horrifying videos I have ever seen on this app regarding our country's financial future. It was posted by a woman named Tiffany. I will link it. She's talking about how private equity firms have been buying up all the single family homes. So up until very recently, we didn't actually have the numbers to say just how many homes they've been buying up. And most politicians across the fucking board, Democrat, Republican, whatever, have been saying, well, they're really only buying like 18% of single family homes. And then economists chimed in and said that if private equity firms are buying up anywhere from 18 to 20 to 23% of single family homes in this country, that by 2030, they would own 60% of all of the homes in America. Well, we just got the final numbers. In 2023, private equity firms purchased 44% of all of the single family homes in America, which means death for our middle class. Our generation will not be homeowners. They will have us permanently renting from like 2 or 3 companies. Now, America has a lot of problems, but this should be a unifying problem that every single person who is not part of one of those private equity firms cares about, including current homeowners. They bought 44% of all of the single family homes in America last year, and they are set up to purchase an even higher percentage of them this year. Unless we have major reform, almost all of the single family homes in this country will be owned by these private equity firms in a very, very short amount of time.
The reason I feel like a lot of people have become very disillusioned in life is because now that we can all talk to each other like this, it feels like we're all realizing we're getting scammed. And I know what you think, well, what do you mean? Like, what's a scam? Just like everything, just like points broadly at everything in life. It's like you go to college and it's like, I mean, that's a pyramid scheme. I know pyramid schemes, that is a pyramid scheme. Okay. And then you go to work and they're just like, okay, not only do I feel like I'm getting scammed here, but I also feel like I'm scamming people. Like now I'm like a part of the scam. And then you turn on the TV and a politician just opens their mouth and you're like, everything you're saying is a scam. You're just a literal walking scam. You go to the doctor, you got to call the insurance, and everything out of their mouth, you're just like, it feels like this is some kind of scheme. Because it is. And it's just like, there's no escaping it. Everything in life is a scam. Even in death, you have somebody die dealing with the funeral home. It's just like, are you scamming my dead grandmother? Like, what is happening? And when that is just what life becomes, like you literally can't even just open up your phone without somebody being like, buy my course. Like, what is the point? What's the point of all this? Anyway, make sure you like and subscribe to my content.
Trying to take away your God-given right to hunt and fish in order to save animals. But it's doing the complete opposite, and I'm going to tell you why. So come November, they might be voting on the ballot to ban hunting, fishing, and even raising livestock. And these people are cheering like it's a win for the animals. But here's why it's not. I bet they don't know since 1937 that every box of shells, every piece of hunting equipment, fishing license, hunting license has all gone into the conservation to save wildlife. And since then, it has generated billions, with a B, of dollars in order for us to coexist. Do they understand that? They understand we as humans having civilization on this planet also needs a little extra work in order to coexist with nature. It's a hard thing to do. So what do? We built conservation. Hunters and fishermen are conservationists. We help nature thrive. We want, even if you're just looking at it for our best interest, for nature to thrive. We do more for fish and game, even the ones we don't fish for and don't hunt for, than any tofu-eating Bambi sympathizer ever has. Now let's talk about what happens if the hunting and fishing stops. 1, you just cut off all the funding to conservation. 2, you just cut off the checks and balances that we provide in order for overpopulation not to happen. What does overpopulation look like? Well, let's start with deer. When you do have an overpopulation of deer, you have disease that runs rampant. You have crops that get destroyed, and you have a lot of deer in traffic. That means you're going to see cars and trucks left and right plowing deer, also killing them and potentially killing you. Do you also know that we kill invasive species? We kill species that are overpopulated. We kill predators that are killing other species too much. We keep them checks and balances. Conservation is a real thing, and you should look into everything that it does just beside us pulling the trigger and killing an animal. It's a lot deeper than that. So with you knowing that, now come up with a good solution of how you're going to fix all that if we stop. And if you know somebody that supports banning hunting and fishing, send them this video and ask them, what do you propose we do to keep conservation going?
All right, so some of you guys know I live in Oregon. And I'm talking about Oregon. I'm talking about the state of Oregon right now. So we got this, and some people don't want to hear it, whatever. I know it's not super popular, but this is where a war is going to start in the state of Oregon. You got liberal society trying to take down, saying that you can't hunt or fish in the state of Oregon. They're trying to pass a law, is IP 28, if they vote yes on this, if they actually vote for this, which I don't think is going to happen. But you got this bitch named Tina Kotek up there, liberal as fuck, trying to push for this. And all the liberals downtown Portland, Salem, Eugene area, whatever. I don't fucking know. But what's going to happen is, and I'm going to play by play on this, I got a lot of guys that I know because I live here that spend $80, $100 something thousand on fucking fishing boats. And if they tell them that they can't use their boat to go fishing, that they've spent their entire lives saving money to be able to do this, oh no, you can't do that. The same men pack weapons. Then you're also telling all the hunters that they can't go up and claim their animals, that they've already been taxed to fucking death to go get animals, to get deer, to get elk, to get bear, shit like that. And now you got the liberal society out here going, oh no, that's so mean. No, the fuck it ain't mean. God put those fucking things on earth for us to harvest. You're going to see a fucking war. And it's going to start right fucking here. A civil war will start right in fucking Oregon. The minute. If that fucking law passes, the minute. Because I'll tell you what, motherfuckers ain't going to stop fishing, and they ain't going to stop fucking hunting. It's not going to happen. I'll be up there in a fucking ghillie suit. I'll tell you right now, I'll break the fucking law. I'll poach like a motherfucker. I don't care. And so will the rest of these motherfuckers around here. I promise you. You're going to cause good fucking men to go to jail for nothing. But see, we won't go to jail. That's where the fucking Civil War starts. So everyone's going, where's it going to pop off? When's it going to happen? It's going to happen right fucking here in Oregon. If this fucking law passes. Fuck that shit. If you live in Oregon, or you got anybody you fucking know that lives in Oregon, you might want to fucking say something to them. Because this IP 28 ain't fucking good. I'd say that's a fucking pass. That's a no fucking go, motherfuckers. No, we are not passing that fucking law in the fucking state of Oregon. A lot of us, even though a lot of people don't think it, a lot of people in the state of Oregon are actually Republican. It's just down in the fucking cities where the fucking all the drugs are and shit like that they just cope with, and they just let these fucking people live there, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll give you free tarps and free tents and shit like that, and you gotta vote this way. You know, we're gonna give this to you for free on the taxpayers' fucking back. Just letting you know, I'm so fucking glad I don't live in town. I would just, fuck it, I'd lose my shit. So, anyways, if you know anybody in Oregon, let them know. IP28. Okay. Vote no, motherfuckers.
Why the fuck is life this stressful? This whole system and society is designed to make people have no friends, to be out of shape, and to be broke. And guess what? You're working all of the time. And if you're not working, if you're relaxing, if you have the privilege to just chill out, you feel guilty because of this workaholism culture, this hustle culture of like, you always got to be grinding. And if you buy into that and then you're working all the time, well, hopefully you're making some money. And if you are making some extra money, hopefully you're not impulsively spending it all so that you're kind of like in the same spot, because income creep is a real thing. And we're all so cooked that like, if you're making a lot of money, the most you've ever made in your life, which a lot of millennials are, guess what? You're paying back a lot of debt that you accumulated throughout your years. Maybe you made bad decisions. Maybe life just punched you in the face a couple of times. Maybe you're just paying back your student loan debts, your credit card debts, the auto loans. It's just so fucking much. It's like, and no one's fucking talking about it. Like, you just, oh my God, I feel like I'm supposed to be professional and not fucking flip out in my car, but God damn it, I just want to flip out in the car. I really just want to like yell and scream. And this is just, I'm just like so stressed out. Like, how could you not be stressed out? How could you not be fucking pissed off about the bullshit that like, this is just ordinary fucking normal shit? No, it's not.
How exactly is all of this supposed to end? And by this, I mean this fuck-ass version of life that we've all been sold. Nobody can get a job because nobody is hiring, despite the fact that every time you walk into anywhere, there's always only 2 to 3 people who clearly look overworked and can actually use the help. And if by some miraculous chance you were offered a job, it's a sick joke of an hourly salary, especially when you consider that you can't even survive off of $20 an hour anymore. Yet you have jobs out here that want you to go through 5 rounds of interviews for $14 an hour, and if you actually went to college, which is, you know, what you were supposed to do to gain the experience necessary for a decent job, you get dick slapped across the face with some bullshit talking about 5 years of experience required for a starting position. And again, even if you are lucky enough to land a job, you have to hope that it's full time so you can get health benefits, only for you to go and use those health benefits just to find out that they don't exactly cover you in the event that you're actually sick or you require actual medical attention. Car insurance costs are going absolutely through the roof because, you guessed it, you pay into it only for them to screw you over when you need it the most. The cost of food at the grocery stores is absolutely insane. The same few items that you could have gotten 10 to 15 years ago now cost you at least $100 every time you step foot into that damn store. Corporate greed is at an all-time high. CEOs and companies keep getting more and more filthy rich every single year as they continue to increase the prices of their products. The housing market is a complete joke. You have corporations that are buying up homes and forcing us all to be forever renters. And speaking of rent, you have apartment complexes charging $2,000 a month for some shitbox little place that's not upgraded and it's falling apart, but they will have the audacity to charge you $250 for an application fee that you don't get back even if you don't get the place that conveniently also requires you to make 3 times the rent, plus a security deposit, plus first and last month just to move in. Can't live in your car because it's not safe and they'll kick you out of any parking lot that you try and stay in overnight. Can't even be homeless because now it's criminalized to do so. Every single thing that we eat is full of microplastics or chemicals, which is giving a disturbing amount of young people cancer these days. Everything that we are consuming in our media is nothing but brain rot garbage filled with propaganda or an agenda-driven message that we're tired of being forced to listen to. And our social media has fried our brains so much due to our insane codependency on dopamine hits, due to our ridiculous depressing lives, that now we can't even go to movie theaters anymore or take your children out to eat in public without needing to shove a screen in front of their faces or our faces to keep them distracted with quick short-form content. Our language and how we communicate with one another is deteriorating right before our very eyes as TikTok lingo is becoming the new norm. You have real, actual humans, adults even, who are out there saying phrases like fine shite or dead ass, as if that makes any sense at all. And every one of our government officials and politicians in our communities and in Washington, D.C., instead of actually putting together policies and laws which will help protect the people that they represent, are only focused on making themselves richer and not helping us at all. They rather regurgitate the same bullshit political talking points to keep us all fighting with each other. Left versus right, black versus white, pronouns, gender identity. In other words, our society is completely and totally fucked, and the people who could do anything about it are useless. So what then? How does this all end? Are we just all supposed to become content creators these days, hoping to buy into this rat race of competing for views and likes with the best hooks or engaging content to try and help us escape this slave matrix system that we've been forced to live in? I mean, just think about it. At what point are we ever going to get to a point in society where finally things start working out for us? What is that going to take? Because it seems to me that no matter what we do, no matter how hard we try, things don't seem to ever get any better. How is this supposed to lead to an eventual happy ending? Or are we just doomed to a shitty life led by shitty people until we clock out for good? I mean, think about the fact that you had a 1 in a trillion chance of being born, and this is the best that we can do? I don't know, man. Seems like we were destined for far greater things than to be sitting around here depressed, broke, and wishing for a better life. Shit just doesn't seem right to me.